Hello and welcome to session 9 of Dreamers of Kiriak. We've passed the 40-hour mark of the campaign, which means we're in dumb open world AAA game campaign territory. That's a big milestone for us. We are joined by Eric after 5 sessions. So he's got a little bit of catching up to do. We will be joined later by Jordan, but he's not here, and we are joined as usual by George and Stephanie. Can anybody tell me, aside from Eric, I suppose, what happened last session?
Well, last session, Solaire spent most of the time, I think, sitting and drinking.
Sitting and drinking with the butler.
Drinking some very fine temp HP vodka.
Yeah, yes, with the butler there, keeping an eye on him while Goras and Ashit flew around on their little miniature magic carpet, exploring things, and otherwise finding ways to get into trouble.
And completely breaking the whole dungeon.
Then we ended up fighting and killing the butler, and then we went on. Solaire was offered the permanent position for all eternity as the butler, which he turned down, which angered things, and we got to fight something that looked like Wrath's skin draped over a skeleton, which at some point split in two, where we were fighting both Wrath's skin and the skeleton. And we defeated both of them, and then came back to the little blue guy with the two bells we got from the treasure room.
Okay.
That was basically it. And then you guys were spit out and brought back to the orphanage, and you had a good night's sleep from that, and you did indeed receive the bell. And so we'll go back to the orphanage. At this point, Antonin slurps out of a hole. 1 second. Antonin slurps out of a hole just in the air, covered in what looks like pulped, rotten fruit, just smelling abhorrent. He flops onto the ground. He's actually completely naked, and all of his belongings rain down on top of him. They are likewise covered in the slime. And then Antonin stands up. And Antonin, you have had a bizarre and fantastical adventure as the champion of your patron, who took a form of a strawberry bush. But all the strawberries had different faces, and all of the faces spoke in different voices, and it gave you very confusing and conflicting commands. You underwent a tremendous cosmic gauntlet in a tournament whose stakes you can't even possibly imagine. You were told just to not worry about it and just hit things really hard. And you came out of it all with the power to touch people and take their life essence as your own. And filled with so much cosmic strength that you have leveled up, and now you're here.
Hello. Who are you guys?
Welcome back, Anton.
Out of curiosity, I feel like I've been gone for a while.
You have been gone for what seems like more than a month.
Sure as hell does.
I'm gonna scrape some vegetable matter off of him.
Oh.
In case it's useful.
Oh, this felt much cleaner a moment ago. I start cleaning gunk off of me.
Alright. You don't happen to have prestidigitation, do you?
I do. I was actually just checking for that, so I start...
So just out of curiosity, since it took me a lot longer to wake up than everybody else, what happened to the little blue guy? I don't see it here.
He left. I can't remember if he faded away or if he stepped out the door. I feel like he stepped out the door. But he took the gold bell with him.
Okay.
with blue guy?
I don't know that Solir would have said little blue guy in character. I don't know that anybody would have. Maybe Goras. Oh, Antonin, where you were? Did you hear the music? That sounds like something he'd say.
Yes, well, I think there was music after a sword. It was rhythmic, often percussive.
Oh, so you've
Sometimes
heard
me
it too
hitting
now.
things.
He nods happily to himself. He's holding a bell in his hand that Solir is looking a little nervously at.
What kind of bell is that?
Is it still muffled?
It is still muffled, yes.
Oh, thank God.
Thinking maybe somebody else should hold that.
Oh, is this bell special?
I don't know. I wasn't here for the discussion about the bell. I was still asleep.
Oh, yes, the little blue man said that whoever rings this bell, the gods will take umbrage at their existence, and they'll be whisked away. But the bell will be left behind, so it can be used again.
Oh, well, it seems like I can get back from that kind of thing. Do you want me to try it?
Oh, would you?
Maybe not.
I pick up the bell and ring it.
Okay.
Are you absolutely
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still muffled.
It is still muffled. You will have to take the muffle away. Would anybody like to stop him from taking the muffle off?
Antonin, that is probably not a good idea.
I mean, I'm already sitting down, but I will say, no, wait, stop.
No, don't do that. Well, I mean, I was just in another dimension for however long and survived a tournament of death. I think this is probably fine. Remove muffle ring.
All right. Can you make me a charisma saving throw, please?
I love making those.
I love
Especially
making people
since I
make them.
always make my stats so high. Whoops. No, I am still proficient in it. I would like to roll. I see. Normal.
360 different hands of different appearances reach out from every angle and grab Antonin by the face.
Oh.
They whisk him away to the astral plane. Antonin, do you have any way of getting back from the astral plane?
I have the spell Blink. I think. That gets me to the astral plane and then puts me back.
Well, Blink will let you get to the material plane instead of the astral plane while you're there.
Oh, it won't just Blink.
Nope.
Won't undo it.
Nope.
Because it does.
afraid not.
Hold up. Let me read
Okay.
Blink. Hold up. Blink's not on my spell sheet. That's
It is
weird.
not on your spell sheet.
It should be on my spell sheet because I'm an Archfey Warlock.
Right.
Goras, where did your friend go?
Oh, well, I guess the gods took him away, but he'll be right back.
Okay. He seems to do a lot of that.
Yes, well, he just came back, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah, definitely Blink should be on my sheet.
Is the bell still here?
The bell landed gently on the floor at his feet.
I'm going to re-muffle it,
Okay.
extra muffle it.
You
Why
realize
don't you put that someplace safe, Ash?
And I'm going to tuck it into a deep inner pocket of
Okay.
whatever I'm wearing.
you
That's
realize
the
as you
ethereal plane. I'm more worried now.
you realize as you pick the bell up that the clapper does not move in the slightest.
Maybe it has a cooldown.
Oh, yeah, these other spells shouldn't I? Well, time to let chaos reign.
Oh no.
Bush? Bush, are you there?
The bush does not respond.
Oh, this might be difficult.
Okay, is the ethereal plane and the astral plane different in 5e, and how different are they?
I think they're pretty different. The ethereal plane's sort of a
Let me look it up real quick.
semi-plane that overlays all of existence.
I thought that's what the astral plane was also.
The astral plane was never meant to fly.
Maybe the astral plane is just a fancy name for a starship.
I think so.
Astral sea is the space between. It is full of color and thick air, but devoid of actual matter. It is a mental and spiritual place as much as a physical one. The ethereal place is just adjacent. It is the spooky ghost plane. It is the One Ring plane. Okay.
Yeah.
So that does answer that. You cannot use blink to get back to the material plane if it normally takes you to the ethereal plane. And you don't have any kind of interplanar thing.
Well, my dad, though.
You do have your dad. Your dad does not have much presence in the astral plane, unfortunately.
No.
He's kind of much more a Feywild thing, and
Sure is. All right.
yeah.
It's time for some creative thinking. Where's Lee Rob?
Does anybody have a summoning circle?
A what now?
A summoning circle.
A what now?
You have a cauldron. It's
You
kind
have
of
a
circular.
No. The problem is none of you really know where he went.
I just got grabbed. You can still try to summon me, though.
You can absolutely still try to summon him. I mean, he did say he would be right back. I'm gonna.
It's true.
Do we have any sense of how long we've been gone in this place?
Well, you don't really have like a calendar that somebody would have been marking
Well,
off. I don't
yeah,
think.
but like the food on the table, is that
The food on the table has
rotten?
been refreshed. It is
goody.
there's a fresh bag of herrings and there are fresh onions.
It does just do that.
It does
so-
just do that is the problem. The blue guy said that you just slept all night and that it's morning now, but he could have been lying.
I'm going to go look out a window to see if we've changed seasons or anything. It's who the hell knows with these people.
All right. Can you please give me perception?
Wait, I lied again. Me?
Salir, since he's looking out the window.
I just added all these spells to my spell list, and I realized they're things I can learn, not things I always know.
Salir, you do not see anything that tells you that a lot of time has passed or that anything very strange has happened. The grass doesn't appear much longer. The cart is in the same place that you left it last night. There are no orphans outside.
Oh, that's true. The orphans are missing, aren't they?
They are indeed.
Well, good for them. They escaped this hellhole.
What'd
Maybe.
you say, what'd you say over there?
I said, good for the orphans that they escaped this hellhole.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to stand in the spot that he disappeared and mutter some things under my breath and appear to be like I'm doing something.
All right. Can you please give me a charisma roll? Just straight up charisma. You feel a slight tickle on your upper lip, but nothing else.
But does everybody think I'm being useful?
That's a good question. I cannot answer that for you.
Well, he's dead. Let's go find some orphans.
That's entirely fair.
He hacked up.
I'm going to go upstairs to the boys' room to see if he's popped up through coming up under somebody's bed.
You do not find him, and let me erase this line here. The rotten vegetation has seemingly evaporated away, along with any smell or trace.
So there's no strange portals up here today.
No strange portals up here today.
Did the blue guy say that we could call him back? I don't remember.
No, he said the gods would take umbrage at that person's existence and abduct them.
No, that we could call the blue guy back.
Oh, that you could call the blue guy back. I don't think that he gave you any way of doing that. I'm trying to remember. I think that you asked, how can we contact you again? And he said, you won't, I'll contact you. Something like that.
Well, I'm just going to kind of call to him. Maybe he'll hear me.
All right.
I don't have a name for him.
No, you don't.
Blue guy.
I think he explicitly didn't give you his name.
Blue guy.
He said something about, I don't want you humans to have power over me. I know how you guys work. You call for the blue guy, nothing happens.
Maybe we should have kept both bells. Maybe the other bell would bring him back.
I don't think that was in the description.
Well, Eric, you probably want to make a new character because you don't have anything
Yeah.
else to do right now.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's possible to bring Antonin back, but not in the very near future.
Not very easily. D&D Beyond.
It would be easier to resurrect you from the dead than to bring you back right now.
Yeah.
Goras.
And he had the
Alright, let's
flamethrower
see.
with him.
Oh, he did.
Can you use the music to find Antonin?
Oh, that's a good idea. Let me do that. All right. His spell book.
Character builder.
Sending. He can send to different planes of existence, but there's a 5% chance that it doesn't arrive. So he can send you messages, and then you can answer him back. So you can become like a Astral Frontier NPC for the party if they ever need to go into the astral plane.
Alright.
But unless you would have some benefit to communicating with them, then it's not going to make much difference.
Not really.
He says, Antonin, where are you?
I don't. Are Goliaths a playable race in this setting? I can't remember.
You can be a Goliath, but you're going to be seen as a barely human barbarian.
Don't worry, it's a war cleric.
And remember, if you are a cleric,
wait.
then it is, for you to be a quote-unquote orthodox cleric, you need to be in veneration of Santa Galia.
Yeah, you're right. Cleric. I also realized I'm already playing this character, and I just didn't give it a name in D&D Beyond.
And Goressa, he says, Antonin, where are you? I can only do this once. You can only give me one response. Sorry.
Oh, he says it to me. He actually is able to reach out.
He uses sending.
Do I have any idea where I am?
You are surrounded by neon trippy planes. Let me get a picture here. There are giant dragons and creatures that wobble through the skies. They may or may not be clouds.
Oh. I don't know where I am. Some strange kind of inner plane of space.
I'm not going to be able to find a good picture. It kind of looks like Jupiter from 2001: A Space Odyssey, I guess.
Oh, a movie I've seen.
Just lots of trippiness everywhere.
Well, I didn't put any effort into this character, for sure. Boy, probably fairies would not be very well looked upon.
You cannot play as a pixie. That's not going to be possible.
It's the UA fairy. I don't know if it's a pixie or not.
Do you send anything back to Goras?
What I said, I don't know where I am. I'm in some strange interplanetary space.
He repeats that to Ashit and to Salir.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know. He didn't say.
Let's see.
I'm a little worried that he didn't just say that he was coming back.
How many of the players here have met Garfield already?
Have met Garfield.
Garfield Jackson.
I don't know that. Have
Who?
I met Garfield Jackson?
Yes, you have.
I see.
I am certain that I have not.
Was that your character in Jordan's game?
No. That was my character briefly in Aaron's game.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
Rogue.
Was
Fighter.
he the super edgy, brutal man?
I wouldn't say super edgy.
Okay, I might be confusing you with a different person then. Or maybe not.
Let's see. Can I have a blank character sheet, please?
Yes, let me do that. I probably shouldn't add Anton into the dead PCs. That doesn't seem right.
He's sort of dead adjacent.
Well, in his wanderings in the astral plane, who knows what new planes he might find to go wander into.
I'm sure we'll
forgot
find
how-
somebody at some point who can go then.
Aggressively average Garfield's stats are. That makes sense, though. Eric's character, great. D&D Beyond, URL. Boom. Everything. Getting character data.
And you should now have ownership of Eric's character.
Oh, dope.
Let me see.
His
if I
name
can
is
update it.
Garfield Jackson. Oh, I'm gonna get the memes out of my inventory.
Oh no.
I might not have any memes. I have a Scimitar of Warning. That's a magic item. Probably shouldn't be there. Bye. Otherwise, candle, oil flask, thieves' tools, standard things.
And you can have a magic item. Probably don't worry about it at this very moment. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, and I'm level 5. Level 6. I'll figure that out.
Okay. So say the
should
next time you go, everybody goes to the town. Garfield will have arrived at the town also.
Yeah, sure.
We'll have some kind of a
You
hookup.
should keep that bell well hidden from Goris.
Yeah, I've got it.
But shouldn't
Yeah.
we all ring it ourselves so we can go rescue him?
Would you like to?
Well, only if we're all going to. I don't know that I can rescue him by myself.
We don't know where he went, Goris.
Yes, but will it matter if we're all there with him? Then we'll all know where we are.
Yes, but we don't know whether all those hands would take us all to the same place or not.
Oh, that's a very good point. He sits down, consumed by thought.
Don't we need him to drive this thing?
Oh yes, I can do that. He
Are we going somewhere?
Yeah, shit, are you going somewhere?
Well, I need to find my orphans.
Did I just make a double orphan out of Goris?
You made a cosmic orphan.
Oh no.
Didn't we? Were we going to have me talk with my mind to them, or did we already do that? I can't remember.
It seems to me that you already did that, Goris.
Oh yes, I think they might have said not to follow them and that they were going to become monster hunters or seek their fortune or something. I can't remember. It's hard for me to remember things. It's, the music is always there. It distracts me.
Well, you can't have an orphanage with no orphans. That's just not okay.
I mean, we could go make some orphans. If that helps you.
That would, yes. That would make me feel a lot better. Do either of you have any children?
Not that I'm aware of. Did Roy have children?
Roy mentioned nothing about having children. Considering that he seemed to live in the inn, and there were no children in the inn before you added children to the inn, I don't think that was the case.
Yeah, but we did add them, though.
You did, and then they unadded themselves. Then you stuck them upstairs for a while, and eventually they escaped. You almost forgot to feed him. You did forget to feed him, then you remembered. And I think it was in time. But then you told him to go play outside and then went to bed.
So it was just like the old days then.
Yes, except you didn't tell him to come home before dark.
They shouldn't need to be told that.
That is very fair. Are you guys going to town then?
For any, random reason.
I don't see why not. I mean, the last time Anton disappeared, he was gone for a long time, so I can't picture just sitting around waiting for him.
That's my thought.
Besides, we have money to collect from
Yes.
our friend, unless he's given it away to the next person that came in and said, that we should let him, give them the money.
We did tell him not to do that again, didn't we?
Did you? I don't think you did, actually. I think you just kind of rolled
If
your
we
eyes.
did, I think it would have been in the context of the two children, not anybody who happened to wander in off the street.
So that gives you something else to do to make sure that he understands that. Alright, then we'll go to town. Update the calendar. Another 20 minutes have passed.
Oh man, Garfield was Irish, right?
Ireland doesn't exist in this world. You can have an Ireland analog, but I haven't added it to the world yet.
I mean, just accent-wise.
It's 640, by the way.
Pretty sure. Oh, I'm pretty sure he was.
I know you did have an Irish one. I would have said that was in Jordan's game, but what the hell do I know?
Nah, that's Leroy.
Leroy cannot exist in this world.
No.
He would have to be much chunkier because he would be much more golem-ish.
Leroy has bulked up recently.
Yes, that's mostly just the sheer mass of adding like 90 pounds of metal plating to him.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
platinum? Was it gold? I can't even remember.
Oh well, that's still in the books. We're working on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you had kept calling yourself Leroy, but that was a different character that wasn't there.
Oh yeah, I don't think have I called myself Leroy here?
No.
Oh okay. I did ask it where Lee Rob was. That's a different.
That's
person.
Leroy backup. I think that's what
Yeah.
it stands for, actually.
No, it stands for Legion 3 Repair 08
Bob.
because Leroy is Legion 3 Repair 07.
Yes. So the two of you, Asha and Solir, you come into town and there are some townsfolk milling about early morning, getting their groove on, preparing to, farm the goats. And you enter your inn and you see a stranger talking to your bartender, Sigmund the Strategic. And can you please introduce Garfield, Eric?
Oh, sure, I'm capable of that. Nope, not Russian. Guys, I haven't had to do any voices for a really long time.
What kind of camp is it where you don't have to do voices?
One where you use your instruments as voices instead.
Hmm.
Man, what do Irish people even sound like?
So while you were at camp, you heard the music.
Mm-hmm.
Was the music.
I did hear I was the music indeed.
So
I
you
also
ascended
became
to
the
being a
Joker.
chosen one.
I think so. Just one beer of any kind would be great, actually.
Well, we've only got one can, so that works out. He gives you a beer.
Hello.
That would be
Thank you.
what,
2 silver? What?
2 copper.
2 copper.
We
Well, I
can
forget the
add
price
a
of
few
copper.
silver onto there if you'd like some of these here fruit extractives. So
Actually, yeah, why don't you just keep it all coming for the evening?
he winks at you knowingly. Yeah, it's 6 in the morning, by the way.
All day.
Well, we can do that, sir. And we don't water it down. That's a point of honor, sir.
Oh, well, that's quite kind of you. I think I was through here a number of years ago, and it was mostly water when I drank.
That sounds about right, sir. He pours
Quite
you
good.
a mug of what could generously be called beer. He doesn't need to water it down anymore because that's already been done by the time he got to it.
Well, thank you. I'll leave this here. 1 gold.
His eyebrows
Tell
raise,
me if I need more.
and he puts it under the counter.
Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't have 99 platinum and 44 gold,
Probably not, no?
because that's from the other campaign. Let's say I had 2 gold.
Let me see. I don't remember what we set starting golds at, but it was fairly high.
I'm not
Oshit has
concerned.
150, and Oshit
I have
lives in the woods.
150, and I believe I spent 350 on the cloak. So
Okay, so you can... 500 sounds right-ish? You can
Okay.
say you start with 500, we'll adjust it later if we need to. And then
Sure,
you can
I
use
have-
that to buy magic items.
Great, I have 499 gold. So Garfield is a moderately armored, I think moderately armored,
You have
lightly
15 AC.
armored.
Studded leather. So the picture is, not at all accurate.
Not quite right, but I do like that picture.
It is a nice picture.
Is a lightly armored man of medium height, with a longbow across his back and an array of blades at his hips, who moves with a certain lithe energy, but has a sort of considered atmosphere about him.
Nice.
Hello. You two look like you might be the type to talk about adventuring with or solving problems. Is that about right?
that depends. Are you an orphan?
No, I'm not an orphan.
We only work with orphans. Where are your parents?
Well, I don't know. They're probably dead by now. I've been around for a while. Was a soldier back in the war. Haven't really had to deal with them.
Oh, so where does parents probably dead by now count as an orphan?
I don't know. You're the one with the orphanage, not me.
Well, that makes sense. We said that somebody's an orphan if their parents are dead, so I think that makes most people if they're very old orphans. Are you very old, sir? I can't quite tell under
Oh.
the helmet.
That is an excellent question. I have a certain age.
Oh.
He looks like he's less than 30 years old.
So he's considerably younger than everybody else here.
Yeah, he's definitely like a person that would by a mile. I haven't really considered my age for a number of years.
Well, you can come with us, but on the condition that if we run into your parents, we have to kill them.
That
Well,
doesn't
I
sound
think that's
reasonable at
okay.
all, even.
That's just the way it goes. I
Well,
don't
we,
make the rules.
we would either have to kill them or he would have to leave the party.
Well, my parents are from a very, very distant land. You probably haven't heard of it. It's called Eberron.
But just as long as you understand the conditions.
Well, as long as you don't enforce them.
Oh, I will.
All right, well, we'll sort that out later.
Well, they're doing that, Solaire's going to lean over the bar and ask the barkeep if he's seen the children.
Well, no. I haven't seen them since that note.
Has anybody else come along and duped you into giving away our money?
I don't just give away your money, ma'am.
Except that time you did.
Because it seemed completely certain that you, my boss, had instructed me to do so. Remember, I was supposed to give you your cut, and well, that seemed like, well, that was what I was supposed to do, and here's somebody telling me that's exactly what is happening. So how was I supposed to know that it wasn't the case?
Because it wasn't us, and you can't read the note.
Whoop.
Do you have any money for us today?
He hands you a bunch of petty change that... first is a single gold coin that was just obtained from Garfield. And then... 25 copper. And 9 silver.
Pocket these.
Do you want to run up to Whiteman?
He seems extremely proud of himself. So when are those supplies going to be coming that they were supposed to be coming?
I think Grass is handling that.
Gorass, sir, when are those coming? And Gorass looks a little confused, and he says, "Oh, I have absolutely no idea what his viewpoint would be on how that works. Whether he would just assume that because he told somebody about it, the organization will set it up, or if he believes that he has to be in contact with someone first. I'm gonna kind of go with the former. He says, "Oh, it'll all come in its time. Don't worry." And he gives a long, slow wink, which Sigmund returns.
I guess we'll find out when the tavern goes bankrupt.
There we go. Shit, where are you going?
Tapping on this window.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out which window you're talking about because I don't know where you are.
The only window that I can see in. These townspeople and their shutters.
You're over at the little hostel?
Mm-hmm.
Please stop bothering me.
Get out of here, girl. I got a job for you.
Bandit does not come out.
I have a job for you. Money and everything.
What kind of job?
I need you to go find some orphans.
I don't want your job. Oh. Are you talking about those children?
Yes, the children. You know where they went?
They ran away from you.
Run away is a strong word.
They ran away from you.
They
If you're going to pay me to do a job, I need to know what happened.
They took some money and they left, and we don't know where they went.
All right, I'll do it. One moment.
I'll give you 10 gold for each of them if you return them. And 5 additional gold for each orphan you pick up on the way and also bring to me.
I'm not bringing you slaves.
They're not slaves, they're
and actually,
orphans.
that request makes me really not want to bring them back to you at all. What is going to happen to the orphans if I bring them back? Because it sounds like you're just going to sell them to a farm or a factory.
If I was going to sell them, I would have sold them before they ran away.
I see. Where... So you have absolutely no idea where they are. How am I supposed to know where they are and bring them back if you don't?
That's your job, isn't it? That's what I'm paying you for. Look around, gather clues.
I want 10 gold to start. That'll cover my expenses. And then I will have all of the rewards you promised me when I complete the task. You understand that if you were Wrath, I would not even be considering this.
I cannot begin to imagine why, but okay. And I hand her 10 gold.
She takes it. She thanks you. She goes to the inn. Ignore that she just ran in from the gambling room. Canonically, she just went in through the front door. She goes up to Sigmund and passes him a gold piece and says, "That'll cover my room. Pack me up 2 days of rations." He looks very confused by this. He looks at the bread that is increasingly dwindling. He says, "I don't know that we've got that much, but you can have what we've got. You can just take it. That'll certainly cover your that piece of gold there." So she rolls her eyes and scoops up the bread and the onions, and then walks away. We're really going to need some more food, says Sigmund.
Well, best get cooking.
With what?
So they remind me to bring him some fish and onion next time. We seem to have a lot of them.
Yes, but where's the baker? There must be a baker here that was supplying rye with bread.
Why
There-
is there a snail outside the window? Not you, Sherry.
What?
I asked why there's a snail drawn outside the window.
Because it's our cart.
Oh.
Oh,
Or,
that.
or our wagon. I don't remember whether it's a cart or a wagon.
That's our cart and horses.
Yes.
It looks a little sus.
It is a little sus, yes. You should have seen the first version.
Was it?
If one of you wants to go try to find the baker, you can find him. As Roy did not pay his last bill, he simply stopped delivering bread to the inn. He will essentially provide rations for. I'm just using ration as like a basic point of reference for food cost. You can get it at like 10% of the cost. And of course, I'm not assuming that you're going to be managing the logistics of exactly how many units of food you need. So I'm going to use that to give you like a vague reference of how much he's going to charge you for continuously providing bread.
So, how much to pay off Rye's debt?
He owes 2 gold and will charge you 1 gold a week for supplying bread.
I will give him 20 gold up front.
All right, he is very happy with this arrangement.
Where's he get his booze from?
He'll- that is an extremely good question. And there isn't exactly like a distiller in town. There are a couple mildly suspicious farmers who make what they call vodka. It's you might not want to try it if you value your eyesight.
It's selling the shine.
It works, is what you're saying.
This
So perhaps we need to set up both a brewery and a distillery of our own.
Unless you have
Sounds like
another
a
way of
lot of
getting it.
work.
There is plenty of drink at the moment. The food was really the missing link. But in the long term, you may want to figure that out.
Sorry, what?
Nothing important. Just there's plenty of booze, so you don't need to worry about
Oh, yes. Yes, we don't need to
setting
make
anything
sorry.
up right now. As you guys are going all about this, I'm going to say an hour passes. And it's around this time that a clattering of soldiers comes into town, very rudely and noisily. Let's see if I wrote down roughly how many it was. Blah. There's maybe like 60 soldiers. I'm gonna write it down in my journal so I don't say something completely different later.
Now, I'm going to head outside to see what the commotion is about.
They have a bunch of wagons between them. They all look injured. They're covered in bandages and bloodstains. And they are not soldiers of your nation, but of the neighboring nation of Wilts, with which your nation kind of has a bit of an arms race kind of thing going on. They look kind of angrily, paranoidly around at the simple townsfolk as they trudge along down the road. Their horses look in. The horses are certainly not injured, but are bedraggled. They have not been taken care of properly in a long time, it looks like. The carts all have tarps over them. You can't make out what's underneath. One of the soldiers walks up to a townsfolk and speaks in passable your language, which we're calling common. And though he certainly is not amazingly fluid in quote unquote common, and he asks where the tavern is, and the guy points to your tavern, and the soldier roughly loudly demands rooms for all his men, and the townsfolk. He tries to explain how they don't exactly have rooms, and the soldier just walks disgustedly away from him and barges into the door. And I don't have a soldier token, so he's going to be in a circle. Oh, lovely. I can't move him unless I have this selected.
So there, we have a lot of unoccupied beds right now.
He walks up to the front of the
You do
tavern,
indeed.
and he kind of glares between the three of you. Where could we find beds? My men are sick and they are wounded. We need beds for all of them. We have coin, we can pay for it. Can you understand me? Do you understand what I am saying?
How many of you are there?
62, 63 of us. Still at the moment, I think.
This isn't a hospital, I'm fairly sure.
And get your elders, we need to talk with them. There's quite a lot of trouble.
Asha, do you have enough room to house that many?
Well, how do they feel about sharing beds?
If they're beds, they're beds.
We have a
He pulls a little
large
coin
number.
pouch and shakes it as if you didn't believe him about the money.
We have a large number of small beds. Be perfect for you.
Alright. Show them to me.
Do we know where our friend with the broken leg is at?
Can you give me perception, please? You give a quick survey of your surroundings, Solaire, and you see him staring out at you from the doctor's window. When he sees that you notice him, he pulls his head away.
Did we give him a job to do?
Did you? I don't remember you having given him a job to do, but I could just be misremembering.
I remember chasing him and intimidating him, but I don't remember where we ended that.
You definitely chased him through the forest. You interrogated him and asked him if he had hands.
Okay, which one is the doctor's here?
Directly
that is
north.
Directly north, yeah. Goodness, do I
Did he
have
have
his...
hands, and could we catch them?
I'm going to knock soundly on his door.
Yes. Oh, it's you again. Oh dear, look at all those people. Yeah, were you going to call me out for helping them? I was already planning on doing that. I'm just getting things together.
Okay, very good. I will let them know.
Well, thank you. The squatting townsfolk is indeed squatting next to the window, next to the door. You catch a glimpse of him as you look through the doorway. His face pales. His legs appear to be still broken.
I suppose I should inquire how he's doing.
Oh, he's doing all right. He's a bit of a, what do they call it, a hypochondriac. He thinks there's a lot of things wrong with him, but I can't find anything. His legs will just need to heal, but his head looks perfectly fine to me, perfectly ordinary.
Okay. Can you go let the elders know that we need them?
Yes, I suppose. Well, why do you need me to do that?
Because you're the first person I happen to see.
All right. Friend, will you go fetch the elders, please? He says to the squatting townsfolk. The squatting townsfolk looks at you resentfully, and he'll try to move past you and then go fetch the elders.
And his legs are broken.
His legs are still broken. He's got some.
Is that why he's squatting?
Probably.
So is he like doing a duck walk?
Yes.
Oh no.
And there's of course only the one elder at the moment. The rest of them died of old age.
It's kind of an occupational hazard, I suppose.
The elder comes out. He looks not very happy to see soldiers. There is some discourse between him and the whatever the highest ranking officer is. And the story quickly comes out that the men were trying to take shelter in a cave when it was thunderstorming, and which is apparently something that you guys slept through last night. And they kind of got attacked and brutally, mostly murdered by a bunch of Fearlins. Ones that were, like, on fire. And, you know, their pride and joy of their military are their flame bows. And they found that those didn't really do much against things that were already on fire. They were, like, 200 men, and now they're down to, like, 60-something.
Fewer.
And so, they are giving warning that that is the case, and they just, you know, they're saying don't let anybody travel on the highway, which, you know, is not exactly a very possible thing to do if you want to do any traveling. And also they demand lots of aid so that they can get back home, which the elder is not terribly interested in giving out, since, you know, it's a wee little village. They don't exactly have much. And these guys are, like, borderline the enemy. They're not quite, but, you know, you don't necessarily have much of a reason to just give all of your precious supplies over to guys who you are in, like, national competition with.
Goraz just suddenly looked more like himself.
Hello.
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 I'll catch up on recap later. Don't worry about that. But I am here
Okay.
for the rest of the session. Woo.
Guess who's got a new character?
Guess who rang the bell?
Who waits?
Guess who wasted 0 time?
Oh boy. I recognize this token.
Yeah.
You do.
Yes, Antonin was with us for about 30 seconds
He's like, hey,
before he
what's,
was
Dude, like,
gone.
I just got back from another planet. It's not that hard.
he's like, hey, what's this bell do? And we told him what the bell did, and he's like, oh, really? And
You used sending to ask him where he was, and he basically said everything's trippy, and I don't know where it is. And you're like, okay, and that was
Yep,
that.
that's about right. Yep. He goes on
Yep.
these adventures all the time. He'll be back.
That's exactly what you said. Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was the discussion.
So now we have like 60 soldiers from a neighboring country, you know, here in the middle of the village asking for aid because they just got their asses handed to them by some of those flaming spider folk.
Ones which were actively on fire, they said. They said that they tried to take shelter in a cave last night when there was a thunderstorm, and they just got, like, 140 of their about 200 people just got straight up murdered. They were trying to defend themselves with flamethrowers.
Gotcha.
So, you know, normal stuff.
Yes.
Now, when Ashit hired somebody to go look for the children, that's pretty much all you've missed.
Yep.
we should work out a price for these guys and then show them to the orphanage.
Okay.
Are we charging them per head or per bed? Because they're 2 different numbers.
He first tries to let's see. He's going to offer you, one whole piece of gold.
What, each?
No, just in general.
How do you like sleeping on the street?
Oh, well, what do you think a fair price then would be?
So what's a good price?
I could perhaps stretch it for my men's comfort is not a little thing. I could perhaps offer you 2 pieces of gold.
I don't think they've got a whole lot of money. That pouch didn't look very heavy. So I would take them for whatever you can get for them. We're not doing anything with those beds anyway.
5 gold, and you also do work around the place.
Deal. He opens his pouch and he puts 5 pieces of gold into your hand. These are Viltsian currency. These are actually really, really big pieces of gold, so you actually get 10 pieces of gold, which you can put on your sheet.
Yay.
And then they'll begin the... When you decide to go back to the orphanage, they will follow you.
Oh, and Goras, just for your own safety, Asha currently has the bell.
Yes.
This does make sense, yes.
Don't ring the bell.
What's this about a battle?
In fairness, we have not had a chosen one ring the bell, but I'm just saying.
Oh, and Antonin apparently was making the music while he was away in the other place.
Hmm.
Yeah, Antonin sort of flopped out of the ether, covered in rotten stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Normal things.
Yes, quite normal, yes.
And then he cleaned himself up and rang the bell and left again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was just fed up with this world, I guess. It was too cruel for him. On the upside, there will be plenty of monsters for him to hunt over there.
Boys, you're gonna get in this part.
Until the Gith find him.
Yep.
The worst part was when he said, "You're in the astral plane," and I said, "Oh, that's fine. I know Blink." The astral plane isn't the ethereal plane.
No, it is not. Then you go back to the orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes yeah.
With
Their
your friend.
carts cannot go that fast. Half an hour passes.
Don't have any place to stable horses.
What's this
You
place?
do not have any place to stable horses.
This
Oh.
is your new home.
Oh,
I
no.
don't have vision.
Okay.
1 second. Has vision. Should has vision. Is there not light in this,
There
map?
should be daylight. You have vision. One second.
Are all the soldiers men?
Yes, they are.
That's 5 dudes per bed.
So like a normal amount.
I think perhaps we could make an exception for them.
You're gonna let them in the girls' room.
I didn't realize you were a dwarf. Shit, for some reason.
We don't currently have any girls, so I'm not sure it really matters.
I don't know. That's the chosen one.
Don't know. Do I need to give bright vision to people for them to be able to see in the brightness?
That doesn't make sense.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, he can't see anything right now. He has vision. He has 0 dim vision, 0 bright vision. But it is The orphanage should
should-
be casting daylight.
Yeah.
Do we have enough, cups, plates, so forth, for this many?
Yeah, this place used to be full of orphans. I'm sure it's fine.
What do I need to see the map to play D&D?
You do need to see the map to play D&D.
Oh no.
I don't know. I've been playing Theater of the Mind for 40 years, so the map is a luxury to me.
Meanwhile, I'm going to give the soldiers a quick tour of the orphanage. Can't go in here.
I can certainly see
You can
10
see
feet.
10 feet around you now. Oi,
Guys, it's like Minecraft.
what am I doing wrong?
Perhaps we could use the playroom, if they wanted to put down some bedrolls or something.
Well, that's up to them. There's a unlimited supply of fish and onions. You can do whatever you want in the room here.
For what it's worth, I don't see light outside, but I can see light streaming from the the fireplace on the second
Okay.
floor. So I don't think the scene is globally illuminated for whatever
Okay.
reason.
And if I put a light source
That would
down,
explain.
then...
Yeah, because the fireplace is fine up here.
Gotcha. And just everybody had dark vision before, so it didn't matter.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops, heck.
1 second.
Heck.
Just got back from working with kids for 4 weeks.
Apply an overlay.
To be fair, I say heck all year.
Yeah, exactly.
Goras, perhaps we should lock the door to the room with the barrels in it.
Oh, perhaps, yes. If Antonin won't be back to take care of that, then
Who is Antonin?
Can you
oh,
see?
he is a. Sorry.
Can you see now, Garfield?
I can see now.
I just dropped a global light.
Hmm.
Sorry, Jordan, cut you off.
All good.
He was an ungrateful
Now.
bastard.
Antonin is a legendary monster hunter. I mean, he worked alongside me, the Chosen One, so
Oh, and what is your name?
I am Goras Petro.
Oh,
You may also refer to me as Chosen One.
I think I'll go with Goras.
That works. I will respond to that, yes.
All right. Well, I realize I've followed you here. What are you trying to do other than house these soldiers?
Soldiers pile in. They look very confused.
I've given them a brief tour.
One of them asks where the doctor is, so the doctor didn't come with you guys.
Was he supposed to?
Oh, he said he was gathering supplies to help the soldiers. He said that to Salir, at least.
I'm sure he'll be.
Some of them just start making camp, like, on the floor in the main room.
No, camps go in the playroom.
They seem confused by this, but they pile into the playroom. It looks like a prison. They are not happy.
I've shown them the boys' room upstairs as well.
I'm gonna have them do a group constitution roll to see if they can actually get up the stairs. Against all odds, they manage to make it up the stairs. One of them slips and falls and hurts himself more, but his companions carry him up.
If any of you happen to die, just, dig a pit for him, will you?
The officer seems more and more uncertain about what he is doing here.
This is an orphanage, not a funeral home, damn it.
He says, well, what time is dinner?
I told you, there's unlimited fish and onions over here.
He looks at the one
Help
sack
yourselves.
of fish and the few onions sitting there. I don't think that will be enough. We paid for room and boarding. It's a matter of professional courtesy and honor. We'll have our dinner at 6.
This is what you got. No backsies.
We'll have our dinner at 6. We must not have it any later than 7.
You know, we do have quite a lot of booze that is high in calories. I mean, that might help stretch the onions and fish out a little bit.
Where is that?
Do you now?
Don't show
Gorath,
the Irishman the booze.
yeah, Gorath immediately after saying that, like, realizes maybe you shouldn't have said that and just looks between Salir and Oshit.
You said it, boy, not me.
He looks towards Rath's room.
You'll have it at 6 with dinner, yes.
All right, make sure there's some for everyone, or the men will have riots.
I lock this door as many locks.
He is now completely certain that's where the booze is.
Mission accomplished.
Also, I'm just throwing this out there that I believe it was last session I gave a big clue that you guys could follow for a big old bonus. I'm not going to remind anybody what it was.
Can I have a reminder?
Nope. But there is a recording of it up.
No bonus is worth that.
It would show up after the point that Wrath shows up.
I was busy killing Wrath. So.
Understandable.
Fortunately, my memory is terrible.
Understandable.
I've been driving for 5 hours.
Understandable.
Could you please be a little sharper, Jordan?
I'm sorry.
Well, I guess maybe I should take the wagon back into town and go find the doctor.
All right.
And
get
perhaps clean the baker out of whatever bread he has to bring back here.
You can go back to town. You can come back. It'll be an hour in total. And he'll just take the bread off of what you gave him, and he can give you a whole wagon load of bread.
And perhaps if there's fire spiders in the cave, we should go deal with them.
These fire spiders killed 140 soldiers. What are a handful of us going to do about that?
Did they say how many there were?
They killed about 140 soldiers.
No, how many fire spiders there were?
No. They said, it was a giant swarming sea of spiders that were on fire. All our flamethrowers did nothing. It was horrible. That's mostly what you hear.
How many fire spiders make up a swarming sea?
Enough to kill 140 people.
Wait, that's a lot.
I don't know if Gorath has tried to do this since returning.
Don't ring the bell.
He tries to goop himself through the lock of this door.
He no longer has the ability to goop
He just
himself.
throws himself out the door and then looks disappointed.
Rip.
That is too bad.
The officer looks at you really weirdly, Gorath.
For a while?
He did.
Yeah, those the wishes.
It was very intentional choice of words, by the way.
Yes. Mhm. I'm aware of the reference.
No. Yet to be.
So, Salir eventually returns with bread and doctor. The doctor, is like, why have I never been called up here before? Wasn't this the orphanage? I have to imagine orphans get sick just the same as everyone else.
What the hell is an orphanage need a doctor for?
He shrugs and gets to work.
Children are very resilient.
They said you're going to pay for all this.
So Larry's going to look at Gorath. Was there ever a doctor when we were here?
Not that I can remember.
The village never had a proper doctor. It still doesn't.
I think Wrath just told us to walk it off a lot.
Even though
After-
he had an arsenal of healing
After
spells.
dropping you off a tree. He would restore you from unconsciousness with 1 HP and then tell you to walk it off.
I mean, they only really had 1 HP, so...
They're really lucky they didn't just die.
I mean,
All you have to do is give a peasant a stiff slap and it dies.
do we know how many orphans survived to adulthood?
I'm not sure I would stick a shovel anywhere out in the yard.
Wrath does seem like the kind of person who'd make an orphan dig their own grave. Knowing that they were gonna, pass away from natural causes. He didn't necessarily murder them. He's like, a fever of
Knowing that they're
101,
gonna pass
get the
away from
shovel.
natural causes, i.e., exhaustion from grave digging.
Yeah, it's kind of a self-compounding problem. Really unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, the doctor, Asha, tells you that the officer said that you're going to pay for all of the medical attention.
He did, didn't he?
Yes, that doesn't seem right to me. I thought I should ask you about it first.
Well, they're not orphans, they're just here.
He said you were his host and you were going to take care of everything that he needed and that you agreed to that. That he paid you quite a large sum of money for it.
I'm not his damn mother.
He
How
did
much money did you want?
He did refer to you as a mother, yes.
How much money were you expecting?
Well, I don't know. I haven't looked over everybody yet. I can't imagine it'll be less than, at the very minimum, 1 silver per head. Which would be, 6 gold. But if I have to set any bones, which it looks like I'm going to have to set some bones, it's going to be more, and I might have to dig some ribs out of other people's ribs and such. I've never done it before, but I have a book that should tell me how to do it.
So everything's getting expensive.
I
I'm
could
not
offer
terribly worried about it.
could offer a discount, but then we're just doing amputations.
No, cut off whatever the hell you want.
All right.
That's up to their commanding officer. I'm not going to speak for him.
Well, it did seem like he was going to leave it up to you. I have to imagine if you're paying for it, then you get to make the decisions, right?
Just do what's best for the men and take care of paying you.
All right. Do you have any morphine?
I don't have any fiend at all.
All right.
What is morphine?
I have no idea.
It's a very nice little drug. I heard the peasants use it quite frequently. I don't know
We
much
have
more
fish
about
and
it.
booze.
Goras, is that something that you could supply?
I may or may not have contacts. Emphasis on the may not.
I'm sure Asha
Yeah, Miss-
could
is
come
that
up with something
something-
good.
Is that something Goris would know how to find on the through
If,
his contact?
if it is clear that it is a painkiller drug, then it is something you know how to find through your contacts. You unfortunately cannot contact your contacts in this village.
I was asking Goras whether you had something on you not to be
Are
shipped
you,
in.
are you holding Goris?
I could sending to them though potentially.
Yes, you could. Forgetting that's a
Contacts.
thing.
Yeah. So my background feature, ear to the ground, says that I have a contact in the criminal underworld. I can find information about the people and places in the local area. So maybe they'd have at least information on where this could be found, potentially.
Are you saying in the village or with sending?
Just with sending
With
to see.
sending, you can get. You
Just
can absolutely
knowledge
get
of where we
information.
could-
Yep.
Okay. So I'll cast sending, saying, need morphine, where to get, and how much. Very simple.
When was the last time you updated your position to them?
Oh, over a year ago, probably. Goris is
okay.
not great about this.
They say ask doctor.
I feel like he just went off and started monster hunting and just
Right.
forgot all about that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they say ask doctor, ask bartender.
Okay.
ask. What would be like the third thing they would say? Ask. Ask botanist. Where are you?
Goris will ignore the last bit.
Alright, perfect.
They said ask a doctor, ask a bartender, or ask the botanist.
Well, it's a good thing there's a doctor right here.
Oh yes, that. Is she?
Ah, shit. You're good with plants, right? Are you a botanist?
Maybe.
Ah.
If you are getting any of the communication that's happening, shit, you think you could know how to make a painkiller with your potionry? You would,
Oh, she could definitely make painkillers. She just doesn't want to.
that's fair.
Do you mean the cocktail?
The what now?
A painkiller cocktail.
Well,
It has
Just
a lot
tell them-
of it.
Just tell her to bite real hard down on a fish. It'll be
on
fine.
a fish. Bite down hard on a dry herring and hope your teeth don't break.
Yes.
I.
They're soldiers. Tell them to man up.
It's going to be difficult without any painkiller, right? The booze will do though. That'll do in a pinch, and so long as there's enough of it.
They're not paying me enough for the good stuff.
Well, the worse the better, honestly. And so he shrugs and he goes upstairs. It's not long before the screaming begins.
You know, that could either be the doctor or a portal. I pity them if a portal opens up.
The Neverborn are going to be very confused if they just suck a whole bunch of soldiers in through their next portal.
The soldiers in mid-surgery.
Soldiers with surgery. Lovely.
So to answer your question, Garfield, at the moment we're kind of not doing anything. We just came back from this strange other place, and our friend Antonin came back from the strange place he was in, and then left to go to a new strange place. And we had just ridden into town. I don't even remember why.
Went to look for orphans, I believe.
Oh yes, the missing two orphans.
And
That
then, oh shit, hired Bana, the other orphan, to go find him.
It sounds like a really bad spin-off series.
Oh boy.
Right, with the other orphan.
Series?
Bana and Antonin's astral adventures orphan hunting. They tie orphans to balloons and just send them off, knowing they'll find their way home eventually.
Always full sends? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yeah, always.
How much time will pass before you have inclination to do anything else? How much blood needs to pour down the stairs before you check on the doctor?
It's kind of mesmerizing.
I mean, he's doing his job, right?
He is doing his job. He's just not doing it well. I'm gonna give
I
him.
feel like the screams just kind of blend into Goris's music, so
They really
I don't
make it
think
more.
he would care
They
too
make it
much.
more melodic. Let's be perfectly honest. The music is
yes.
almost as discordant as possible. It's almost actively trying to not have any kind of a melody to it. The screams, just by the sheer power of chaos, are more melodic than the music is. It's not going so great.
So, Goros, did the little blue guy give us any indication of how to get to the lighthouse? I mean, he said it had been overrun, I think it was.
He was talking about portals being open from here to there or there to here and how things could follow and all that, but I don't know how to do that. Do you?
No, we've just followed whatever random thing opened up at the floor here.
Maybe all the blood will inspire something else to open. That's a lot of concentrated pain.
How did you find my collection name?
The doctor eventually comes downstairs. He's not wearing a shirt. He's covered in blood. He looks very tired. We probably want that booze now.
You do or they do? Or we do?
We do. Where is it?
It's
myself.
that's right over here. Yes. There. Help yourself.
He kind of staggers over. He walks in. There are just like red handprints places where he rests against the wall for a second.
Just press to digitate them real quick.
He gets a little casket of gin, and he rips out the cork, and it goes all over his face and his shoulders as he gulps down some mouthfuls.
Don't waste the. Oh God.
He manages to get the cork back in. He blinks a few times. I just need to sit down for a minute. He sits down against one of the barrels, and he falls immediately asleep.
Oh my! I'm gonna take that out of his hand and just push that aside a little bit.
The screaming is much diminished from upstairs by now.
Boris, if you lock that door, we've got our own doctor.
How many soldiers were in surgery up there?
About 60. I don't know how many exactly
60?
were in surgery, but there were 60.
Everyone that came in here needs surgery.
Almost
Yeah.
all of them. You
Can I
don't
like
know how many.
get a head count of how many are like in pain
Okay.
up here?
If you go up, you'll find that about 25 of them are post surgery. The rest of them,
Okay.
have do not look like they have had treatment or necessarily need it.
They're amputated limbs that need to be disposed of.
Well, there is that rather large fireplace up there.
Yeah, they're you see a couple amputated limbs that are resting on the stone in front of the fireplace. But most people have there's a big pile of bloody cloth scraps in the middle of one of the floor. And there is a lot of just people holding various parts of their body.
Goris is gonna go through just completely oblivious to the suffering and just start prestidigitating up all of
right.
the stains of blood everywhere. Just make it clean.
It's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, he's just going through it. He's
All
just
right.
like ignoring them and just cleaning up the mess
Excellent.
as he goes. So that's what Goris is currently doing.
Okay. Salir, what are you doing?
Probably just sitting there with my tankard.
All right. Your tankard of gin.
No,
Your
my
infinite tankard, right?
yeah, but it's ale, not gin.
Gotcha.
Infinite tankard of gin sounds
Dangerous.
like a challenge to drink.
It just sounds like gin to begin with.
Those never seem to run out.
Garfield, what are you doing? You are of course new to
having
this place.
Had some previous experience with surgery.
Oh, really? Did you decide to offer your services at any point during this?
I think I'll Jordan got it.
Yeah,
Head up and see if there's anything I can help with.
Okay. At this point, the only thing to help with is cleanup or to distribute
have-
alcohol.
we only have fish bones, no chicken bones. Sorry.
Bummer. I'll do my best to help clean up.
All right. Oh, yes,
the
yes.
soldier.
Previous experience with surgery, of course.
Do we have a pot big enough to make some sort of a fish soup or stew for these people?
Asha has a cauldron big enough.
Yeah.
Asha, you have never tried making food in here. Something tells you it'd be a bad idea to make food in a potion cauldron, regardless of how clean it is, but it's possible.
I've never cleaned this.
Well, I'm just saying, it's not a matter of like, oh, what if they were like, cat guts that contaminated the chili. No,
It's like the seasoning on a cast iron pan. You don't want to clean a cauldron.
the breath of the cauldron.
You can make whatever you want in here. Spend several minutes unlocking the door.
Would you like to make a fish soup in the cauldron, Mr. Solier?
Well, I mean, we did promise to feed them, and you know the raw fish is probably not that palatable. So, God knows Solir hated eating it when he lived here. So.
I thought it was smoked.
They are preserved fishes, yes. When I said
Ah,
fresh, I
preserved
just mean
fishes.
like it is a full sack of it.
Well, hell, we'll make it into something easier to digest.
Yes. Can you give me, if you don't have proficiency with cooking tools, can you give me medicine or nature? Or just wisdom?
Wow, there's so many bad choices there for me.
Oh no. You make an absolutely passable soup.
Well, thank goodness for that. With soup and bread, we can deliver them their dinner at 6.
All right.
For those, not in too much pain to eat.
That is a big for those of those.
If anyone's not in too much pain to eat right now, I'm happy to fix that.
We'll say another 2 hours pass, so it's only noon at the moment. The doctor is certainly still asleep. The gentle smell of wood smoke reaches your nostrils, everybody.
Chosen one, can you ask Girl Orphan if she found my orphans yet?
You were both talked over. What?
I said it sounds like there might be some dinner downstairs, but I meant smell.
Yes, I confuse those senses all the time. What was that, Ashit?
Can you ask Girl Orphan if she's found my orphans yet?
Yes. With the spell? Or is she here?
No, she's not here.
I don't know.
It's
I
your-
don't go in
it's
the
your-
girl's room. I
It's your
can't
brain
look in
thing.
there.
Do your brain
You have to
thing.
go and check in there if she's here. I can't.
She's not here.
Okay, I'll do the brain thing.
Do the brain thing.
Is the smell of wood smoke coming from inside or outside?
It's drifting in through the windows.
All right, I'll cast sending to Banna.
Okay.
Thing. Ashit would like to know if you have found her orphans yet. End message.
There's something strangely discordant about her mind. She sends back, no, having some trouble, Fearlands, down the highway. A lot of them. Maybe help.
She might need some help. Lots of Fearlands down the highway. It's apparently causing trouble, making it hard for her to find the orphans. And if the orphans are down there past the Fearlands, they might be in trouble too.
It's in a sea of feelings.
She said a lot,
An entire lot.
an entire lot of Fearlands, which is a very, very nasty kind of a lot.
It is one of the worst allots.
So should we go take care of that? Go help?
That sounds like something that I would
Yeah,
be inclined to do.
Despite that, danger, like, she didn't sound all that worried. She sounded pretty just like, yeah, this is a Tuesday, So maybe she's got this. Maybe we should take care of the soldiers. What do you guys think?
Tuesdays are some of the worst days.
Okay, fair. So you know what? You're right. I get my days mixed up because, on different days of the week, they play different music, but not always. And that throws me off sometimes when they don't. Anyways. it's new friend. Sorry, I did not get your name.
Oh, sorry, my name is Garfield.
Garfield, are you an orphan too?
Well, not to my knowledge.
Oh, we've never had a non-orphan in our group.
Yes, the shorter one told me about that.
Ah,
She said, if we meet my parents, we will have to kill them, and I said we'll negotiate that later, but they're from very far away from here.
I see. Gotcha. Yeah. Anyways, Garfield. Yeah, getting used to the name. Do you want to go kill some villains, or do you want to get supplies for the soldiers? Maybe if we get supplies for the soldiers, we could take the soldiers against the villains.
That could work. Without having a clear idea of what a Fearlin is,
You know what a
it's,
Fearlin is. It is a
I have
giant
a
monstrous
perfectly
spider
clear
thing.
idea of what a Fearlin is, and
You're welcome. I planted that there for you by telepathic communication.
I appreciate it. Given that it's been described as a lot of them, maybe we should gather some weaponry for the still able-bodied soldiers. Should we fortify somewhere?
Perhaps. Fortified sounds good if there's too many of them, but also we have a friend down there that's in danger, and potentially the two only orphans that actually need the orphanage, seemingly down there.
Oh, yes, we should probably be more aggressive in that case.
Yes. I also don't know if the soldiers will do much for us without being fed.
Oh,
I guess we could ask,
right.
though.
Well, it seems like there are onions and fish.
True.
There is the big
Is
old
that,
pot of soup boiling.
I smell food. Yes.
Yes.
Good,
Oh, I smelled food too. I thought I heard it as well. How urgent is this before I go have dinner?
Well,
mean lunch.
Benna really didn't make it sound urgent, so I think, maybe let's
So,
feed the soldiers, get their spirits higher. Yeah, get some booze in them so that they don't mind that they're running to their deaths against villains, and then we go fight the villains.
right. I like the way that this one thinks.
Well, which one's this one?
I pointed to you.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were. Goris points to like nothing on his shoulder and says, "I thought you were talking to him, but yes, thank you. I think real good. It's because I'm chosen and all."
Oh. Okay. All right. I look over at Asha like, am I missing something here?
I shout up the stairs. Food's ready. Come and get it. It's soup. It's good. It smells good. You probably can smell it already. I don't know why I'm shouting, but come on down.
The 40 people who were not in surgery come down with their mess kits and just kind of fill the room. They look awkwardly around. I assume
yes,
that the soup was boiling in Rath's room, so I don't know if they see it. Since you're definitely not putting that cauldron on the stove.
While we get the soup ready, booze over there, that room.
They swarm. They see the doctor. They stare at him for a couple seconds, then they pick him up and just kind of slump him outside the door, and then just utterly obliterate most of your supply of booze on growlingly empty stomachs.
Pretty much what we expected.
Yeah. A short time later, there are a lot of very sick men, just kind of running into the rec room and vomiting aggressively.
Oh.
So they're drinking like entire liters of gin on empty stomachs.
I think they're ready to fight.
Let me give them a group
could I have some
constitution
of that?
saving throw.
I've had enough to eat. I think I could probably handle that.
And I didn't even give it to them at disadvantage like I probably should have. They're not having a good time.
Yeah, so food. Yes. Is this door locked? I remember Asha describing that, but
I
don't
think
remember
it's open so that Salir specifically could get in.
okay. Since they've stepped out for a moment, can we assume that we get the food out for the soldiers then?
Yes, you can. You'll probably need to like put the bowls on the floor because there's definitely not enough room like on the table for 40 bowls. But you can, just kind of take the mess kits that they kind of just have on their persons and you can fill them with soup.
I have the stupidest idea, but
Oh
no.
no.
Uh-oh.
I want
So
to
the
hear
soup.
what it is.
So Goris has a special plan for how to serve the soup.
Is he going
Because
to
Asha is not
telekinesis into
here,
them?
so he is going to shape water to freeze orbs of soup, and then telekinesis them into a bowl. And then, as soon as he tries to freeze another orb of soup, that first one will thaw out because of how the spell works. So he'll just keep doing that until all the bowls are full,
Lovely.
but they'll all be cold.
He's making soup dumplings without the dumpling.
But it's very efficient. He just kind of vloop, 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 vloop.
Huh.
Well, does something really... It could just be under tremendous pressure to be a solid.
I don't think it is, though.
The effect I have chosen from Shape Water is you freeze the water, provided there are no creatures in it.
But freezing is just the process of transitioning from a liquid to a solid, right?
Does having fish in the soup mean that you can't freeze it?
I don't think Goris is smart enough for that.
Probably not. But the universe is.
Does the universe like hot soup? Is the question, I suppose.
Can you please roll me a D100?
This is going to be for how many degrees Celsius the soup is. I guarantee it.
The universe has no opinion on the appropriate heat of soup.
Well, the sea is a soup, so I think it's fair. There are many soups, not all of them hot.
That
Like
needs to go on
cereal.
a shirt.
No. I'll kill another one of my characters. Watch me do it. Where's that bell?
So you serve up the soup. No one can deny that. And a few of the men even get themselves up. Two whole men get themselves up and get to the soup.
Yes, I will telekinetically slide bowls of soup across the floor towards people until they notice them.
They are very grateful for this.
Slide.
The two people who eat the soup, they perk right up. They
good
look.
soup.
It's very good soup, says one. The other one just babbles barbarically because he doesn't speak your language. He's actually an eloquent scholar who was drafted, but he sounds like he's just babbling barbariously to you.
I try some of the soup. Is it good
tastes
soup?
delicious. Can you please give me a wisdom saving throw? Save versus MSG. Oh.
Rolled a 0 with a wisdom save. This is perfect. This is exactly as planned.
This is the best soup you've ever had in your life, and frankly, you feel really, really bad about giving any of it to other people. They don't deserve this soup.
Boris cuts off his eye and replaces it with soup.
I start sliding bowls away from people as soon as they put their spoons back in the bowls.
I'm gonna make 2 saving throws for them. Oh my gosh!
Yes! So good! Yes! I'm screenshotting this.
Yep, I was.
We need
I'd like to
a
point out
2-minute
that
break.
comes right after rolling a 10 on a D100 and a 2 on a D40.
I need to figure out what this means, so 2-minute break. We'll be back.
the hell are you fools rolling?
Okay, quick recap. While you were gone, Goris fed the troops booze before food because he's not smart.
Cool.
So most of them are currently vomiting on the floor because they drank as much gin as they could on empty stomachs. Um, so that's off to a great start. He began serving the soup to everyone in a way only Goris could, by freezing it and then telekinetically serving chunks of frozen soup to people and then thawing them instantly into bowls. So it was cold soup, and then Goris tried some, and Taylor said, make a wisdom save, and I was told with a 0 total on my wisdom save that this is the most delicious soup I've ever tasted, and I want it all for myself, and I'm not going to give any more soup away. And then Taylor also rolled 2 wisdom saves for all the troops that currently have soup. And he said, I need to figure out what this means, and took a break. So Goris might be about to fight some troops over some soup.
In a pool of vomit, apparently.
In a pool of vomit and probably soup.
Well, this should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. Also, I don't know if you heard the results of sending to Bana, but lots of Fearlands, probably Fearlands around the orphans.
And back.
We're trying to welcome back. We're trying to rally the troops to go with us to fight off the Fearlands to save Bana and hopefully the orphans.
Maybe.
So a bunch of vomiting, injured soldiers.
Correct.
Who are starving now too.
That is the situation is rapidly deteriorating. Yes.
Well, sounds good to me. Let's go.
Did I assume?
Did we figure out what the wood smoke is that we were smelling from outside?
Probably just wood smoke.
You have not figured that out yet. So
I really assumed the wood smoke smell was the food.
if you were
Well,
right by the
Goris
food,
has this-
that's what you would assume it was. But
Goris has this under control, so I'm going to go see where the smell's coming from.
so Goras, these 2 soldiers leap at you, and they're going to try to eat you alive. What is your general strategy for dealing with this?
Misty step.
Okay.
Just out the window that I can see through Wrath's room. Just.
Okay.
I'm taking the soup with me.
It's a big old cauldron, so how are you going to do that? You just put your hands on the edges of the cauldron and teleport out with it?
Can
Can
I
you not do that?
telekinetically grab it and Misty step with it? It's
No. The what's your
Well,
what's your pound limit?
this is my it's like 20 pounds or
Okay,
something.
yeah, no.
This is the most delicious soup I have ever tasted. So he will just put his hands on it and then Misty step out.
Okay.
Burns he doesn't care.
Please take 1d4 fire damage. It's worth it. You will
I have all
become
the
one with
soup to myself.
You have the sudden notion that things that get really hot sometimes melt, and maybe if you melt into the soup, you'll become able to squish through things again.
Well, you two see Goris just appear outside with the soup and then start reaching his hand into
He
it.
has done nothing but teleport soup for the last 3 days.
Perfect.
So he reaches into the soup, clearly burning himself, and just kind of slurps it up. Oh shit, can you please give me a nature or a arcana roll? Did I say Goris? I meant oh shit. Whatever I
If
said.
the thing will come up.
Curse the internet.
Please don't curse the internet.
The internet's pretty cursed.
Yeah, that's
No,
cursed
I
me.
clicked on the nature thing and it just
Hmm.
doesn't. So hang on.
Oh my gosh. I just heard the sound of like a phaser careening through real space, and then 2 of your things arrived at the same time. We'll use your first one first. So you snap your fingers and you're like, you know, that makes perfect sense. It absolutely makes sense that, you know, using this cauldron would make Goras go crazy. Because, you know, it's You were trying to rack your brain, thinking, what on earth would be the residue from the last potion I made? And you're like, that would do it. Yeah.
Goraz, maybe you should.
Goris
Not.
hisses like a cat, like tries to pull the soup away.
I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw, Ushit. As a wave of psychic energy emanates from Goris. What's your spell save DC, Goris?
It is 16.
All right, you got to make a 16, Ushit.
I don't know why these aren't coming up. I gotta do them manually.
I'm pretty sure it's because he cursed the internet.
That would do it. Was that just a straight D20 roll? So if you add your intelligence save to that, it's a 16. So you make it. Oh no, you added a 4 to that.
Yeah, I
Never
did.
mind. I don't know.
But I make it anyway.
Do you say you make it anyway?
Yeah, I make it anyway.
You don't make it anyway.
The legendary resistance.
I'm sorry. Yes, that famous Hildorf racial feature. So you take 1d4 psychic damage, Ushit.
No.
I will roll it. Solir, you see Goras hiss like a cat, and then Ushit just kind of does a kind of half dab, half twitch of pain.
We didn't still have temp hit points.
You do, yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Goris is like dipping his hands in the soup to like make a cup with both hands and then just drinking out of that repeatedly.
Please make me another. Did I have you do a saving throw? No, it's just gonna be.
So just
another
took more
1
damage.
fire damage.
All right.
Goras, what the hell do you think you're doing?
This is the most delicious soup ever. You can't have any. It's all mine.
I know, I made it, but that was not for you. It was for the wounded soldiers.
Solir, despite you having tasted the soup, you are not affected at all.
Now, put the
How can we
pot
give this
down.
to the soldiers? Can't we give them just the fish and onions?
No, it was meant for the soldiers. We promised them food, part of the contract, you recall? You were supposed to be feeding it to the soldiers, not sticking your hands in it. Why are you burning your hands?
Because it's so good.
Well, yes, but we have spoons and bowls.
Nope, not fast enough. I must become one with the soup.
Please do not become one with the soup.
Goris stares at Slayer and just dips both hands in the soup and holds them there.
I'm attempting to make him one with the plants.
Strength saving throw, please, Mr. Goris.
Strength saving throw.
You do not make it.
I do not make what?
You do not make the entangle roll.
Oh, she cast Entangle. Thank you.
Yes.
Didn't see that.
Grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square. Creature in the area succeeds on strength or is restrained. Can use this action to make a strength check against your DC save. Restrained means no movement, I think.
Movement is 0. Attacks against me are at advantage.
Okay.
My attacks are at disadvantage.
Thank you.
I think I auto-fail dex saves too.
I think that's right.
So maybe you should move that pot away from him.
That cauldron is boiling hot. Do you have something that you use when you need to move it when it's full of hot liquid?
Do I look like I can move that full of hot liquid?
While they discuss this, I misty step while still holding it.
Okay. You have
Oh, Christ.
disadvantage on dex saves. You don't autofill them.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep, I'll misty step.
He continues to teleport soup.
Yes, correct.
Where the hell did he go?
You don't know, but I went to the second floor with the soup.
Could you see inside there, or do you not have to see inside there?
It's a good question. I think it's a place you can see within range. An unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet.
I don't think you would have line of sight within the top floor from that. I mean,
Could I see like the ceiling?
let's see. If you were there, oh yeah, you'd be able to see up there.
He's
Just
gonna
pop
pop
into one of
onto
the
the
windows.
ceiling.
He,
And then land on a bed with soup.
You land
I don't
on
know.
top of a soldier who begins screaming as you sear his flesh with the pot.
Well,
He's
now
gonna
you
have
guys know where he is. Okay, I moved the pot to the floor because I don't want him to have the soup.
That's going to be very hard to do without sloshing it everywhere and just completely spilling it.
You told me it was okay to use this cauldron for soup.
This is a 40 people's worth of soup cauldron.
She just shrugs at him. I've made a lot of things in there. It's fine.
I'm going to need you to take me another 1d4 fire damage.
Yep.
And the guy you put it on is going to take 1d12. And he just dies. You slosh so much soup on him, he scalds immediately, goes into a convulsive fit, and dies.
I will remind you that there are 5 people to a bed.
Oh no. There are not actually 5 people to a bed because that is not logistically possible. There are
Not
the
from
worst
sideways.
people, you got like 2 people to a bed. So, you know, that's going to be another person. That
You
person
cannot use the
is
stairs.
harshly injured but is not dead.
Goris keeps eating soup.
Well, I would go up and help, but I can't use the stairway. It looks disabled.
The guy who's still up is going to see if the soup splashes into his mouth with a dex save.
Dex save against eating soup.
He gets it like full in the face. Quite a lot of it goes down his throat. Good. This was another crit fail versus this versus
The soup.
Yes, this is truly cursed soup.
Soup was the true BBEG all along.
He was the super villain. He's going to make
Ah,
a
shit.
wisdom
Where the
saving
hell
throw.
did he go?
He
You
went
guys heard
upstairs.
screaming through a window a second ago.
I
Oh my
so
gosh!
I can't get up the stairs. They look disabled.
He rolls a 1 on his wisdom. Oh, he rolls a 2 -1 on his wisdom save versus soup. This is so stupid. This has become stupid, is what this has become. And he begins trying to eat you, Mr. Goris. What is your strategy now?
Okay, who
He
locked the
screams,
stairs?
He's got soup. He's got soup. Nobody locked the stairs, I don't think. You should be able to... That's
They're
weird, did I?
disabled.
It says they're
Okay.
disabled.
I didn't do that, so you should be able to get up.
Hey.
well, I guess I will misty step away from him again over here. Oh, I guess that's too far. I can only do 30 feet, so it's like here-ish, just into the middle of the room.
He continues to teleport soup.
I do.
And
Or-
I need
were
you to
you
make...
okay?
I need you to take 1 more point of fire damage.
Yep.
Seems. Wait. I'm not playing Antonin.
And you see a screaming, scalded man, his skin bright red, is clawing on the floor, scaring everybody around him, screaming about how Goras has the soup.
I attempt to blind Doris.
All right,
Can't misty step if he can't see.
that is very true.
Goris, what is wrong with you, man?
Goris continues to blindly eat soup.
That is what is wrong with him. He is blind.
So they removed him from the soup.
You
Going-
blinded me. There's a difference between removing me from the soup and blinding me.
I'm going to try and grab Goris and pull him away from the soup
Okay,
before he kills himself, burning himself, eating soup.
make me opposed athletics rolls. Goras will do so at disadvantage.
Okay. Can I make acrobatic? Potentially?
Not
Are you
if you
trying
can't
to
see the
flip
guy
out
to
of his
dodge away
arms?
from him.
That's fair. That's fair.
You are able to wrest him away from the soup.
I'm gonna calmly pick up the soup.
It is a big old cauldron. You cannot pick it up.
No.
You can give me a strength check, actually, to see if you can pick it up.
Goris has only been moving it because he was technically in contact with it while Misty
It's a lot lighter than it was, to
Yeah,
be
that
fair.
is true. You burn your hands and cannot pick it up. Take 1 point of fire damage.
Alright.
Will you idiots stop
Step
trying to
away.
pick up a burning hot pot? My god.
The
Well,
eyes
it's
of
really
the
not that
cauldron
hard at this
that were
stage.
stopped up with whatever Ashit stopped them up with are glowing red around the cracks of the material. A deep rumbling laugh burbles from inside the pot.
Why does my cauldron have eyes?
Wait,
It was a
why
skull.
It has
wasn't it?
eyes?
I could have sworn it was a skull.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Oh, yes, it is a skull, isn't
it was
it?
like a giant skull or something.
I'm going to pull him out of the room.
All right, you can do that.
Kicking and screaming.
Yep. The other soup man just crawls into the soup, and he promptly dies.
I do like that Goras is technically stronger than Salir, barely. But he's just so worried about the soup that he can't like possibly fight back right now.
And the blindness.
Yes.
Does anybody else want to jump in?
There's a sound of, I mean, if you had context for it in this world, of a toilet flushing, and the man that fell into the soup and the rest of the soup just disappear. They get slurped into the cauldron itself. And then the cauldron is empty, clean as a whistle, and ready to brew potions again. Brewing potions will provide stronger effects in the future. Oh, shit.
It's claimed many lives. And Goras' sanity, so.
Well,
I'm thinking perhaps in the future I should not be the one to do the cooking.
No, please do. Please do again. As soon as possible.
Carry the cauldron back downstairs and
Oh.
put it away where it's safe.
No, Goras, just for you, I will make you a bowl of soup anytime you wish.
Right now.
But just a bowl at a time.
Okay.
We don't want you to get, too fat to fit their doors, after all.
But I can teleport through them. I learned that from you.
That's flawless. How many soldiers are left?
That may well be, but, you're not supposed to misuse your powers.
there are like 18 soldiers still alive up here.
Seriously?
I don't think the chosen one was given powers to misuse them.
Sorry, it's
I
about
think
23.
I was. Yes.
We had the soldiers for a matter of hours and we've killed 2/3 of them.
No. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to break it down for you. Okay, there were roughly 60. About 25 of them needed the surgery. The ones who needed the surgery were kind of stuck upstairs, horrifically in pain because they couldn't make it downstairs. So there are about 35 downstairs in various states of drunken wretchedness.
Oh, okay.
There were 25 up here. One of them was eaten by the cauldron, and Goras killed one of them with soup. So, of all the ones that needed surgery, 2 of them have died. Surprisingly, none of the rest have died from the surgery itself.
They don't look in good shape.
They are not in good shape, no. It is surprisingly clean up here, though, because, Goras cleaned all the blood away.
So I'm going to lean Goras up against the wall and go downstairs and make him a small bowl of soup, since I did promise him soup.
Okay.
So he can make a saving throw every 6 seconds.
Should we assume that he's broken out by now, or
I don't know, he may just roll really badly.
can you please give me 3 saving throws, Goras?
If you fail all of them, you're permanently blind.
Oh no.
First
that-
one was a 17.
That
I
one will
figured.
break out of it.
Ow! My hands! Ah!
They do hurt very
My
badly.
mouth!
What will we not do again?
Goras is just like on the ground, rolling back and forth.
There's,
Like,
there's a foul
Oh,
aftertaste
my
in your mouth
goodness.
of blood.
Goras flops down the stairs. Like, oh, please help! Oh god!
The soldiers nod at you in sympathy.
He just holds up his hands, like shaking, bloody. Oh, thank you.
What happened to you there?
That was really good soup, man. It was really good soup.
Did you see any of that, Garfield's? Or did you just see none of this and you just heard the popping of Misty
think-
Step?
No,
I think he
walking
saw
around.
me disappear out the
Yeah.
window, at least.
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I was following around as things were happening.
Yeah, you tried to get the soup moved.
Yeah,
I
no
remember.
damage.
Yep. Yes, you did. Do you vaguely understand, Garfield, what happened, or you're like, yeah, I guess this is my life now?
He's probably regretting coming here.
Sort of just assume he had a bad reaction to that soup.
You could say that, yes. The 2 men who are on the floor. what would they have started to do? They would have gobbled up the soup that remained. And they are now on the ground with all of the blood having been drained from their bodies. They're just kind of little withered corpses while their blood is floating around them. So you've killed 2 more.
We would dig a hole.
Do I need to make another nature check to make soup?
No.
Oh, please, no more soup.
You
I'm
have a-
so full. Oh, God.
You're confident in your recipe. You're good.
Are you sure, Goras? Because you said you wanted
Yes.
another bowl.
Yes, I was very sure then, but now I'm very sure I...
Oh, okay, well, you let me know when you want more soup.
Oh, okay.
The rest of the soldiers are too drunk to care about what's
I
happening.
think I'm soup hungover.
I think we call that just sick.
You did eat a lot of soup, Goras.
Mm. How much was that cure wounds, by the way?
I don't know
Oh,
what was rolled.
I half cast it.
Thank you.
Digging a pit under the window, so you can just dump the bodies in. Lovely.
It's very convenient.
That's how you get ghosts. That's how you get haunted orphanages.
Are you trying to get ghosts? Because that's how you get ghosts.
If any building is going to have ghosts, it's this one.
So is the commanding officer one of the men who had surgery, or is he down in the other room?
He is down drunk on the floor in the other room.
So he missed this whole episode, thank God.
Apparently so, yes. He may have some questions next time there's a head count, but I don't know who exactly he thinks is going to give answers.
They simply did not survive their surgery.
Clearly. Somehow the surgery resulted in all the blood being drained from their bodies. They had a lot of bad blood. It just all needed to come out. We just forgot about, replacing it with other blood.
I'm going to tell the more able-bodied soldiers to drop the dead ones through the window.
They do not agree to this.
I'm doing myself.
They are in various states of feverishness. The ones who are able-minded enough. Like, no, I mean, the ones who are able-minded enough can't really speak your language well enough. So you can just do it, and frankly, they don't have the strength to stop you. You just take their comrades and just shove them out the window.
Well, they don't weigh as much without their blood.
Well, the ones up here have their... Did you drag the bloodless ones up the stairs to dump them out the window?
Were they downstairs?
The ones without blood were downstairs, yes.
Well,
There was
did
one
the
that was
windows-
eaten by your cauldron upstairs, and then there was one that just kind of boiled to death upstairs. Because Goras scalded him.
Well, I think the windows line up. I can just drop them out of the window down here.
Okay.
Maybe it doesn't.
Onto the cart.
It's not my fault the upstairs exists in kind of an alternate dimension slightly to the right.
Should I assume that you moved the cart before you did this?
Yeah, because I can't.
Okay.
We have a body pit outside the kitchen window.
It'll make good fertilizer, I guess.
You act like that's something different.
That's pretty convenient.
You are determined to turn this orphanage into another witch hut, aren't you?
If someone has to.
So I'm gonna say another hour passed somehow during all this. Through the various shenanigans. It's still just like early afternoon.
So did we ever determine where the smoke was coming from outside?
No,
but
I was gonna check it out and then Goras went crazy.
It's a little stronger now. It's just kind of on the wind,
Now that
coming
we
vaguely
spent
from the
this time,
direction of the village.
we should maybe head toward the village to defend against the Fearlands.
It's possibly on fire.
Yes.
Can someone else drive, please?
Does anyone else know how to drive?
Well, Soler just took the wagon into town and got all the bread, so pretty sure he's got this figured out.
That's the phrasing of someone who does not got this figured out.
He did have the parking brake on the entire time. he was driving the horses in first gear the entire time, but you know, he did get there. He did get back.
An uncomfortably familiar story.
Oh no.
So off we go into town.
Mm-hmm.
If the
All
town
right.
is still there.
Uh, 20 minutes pass as you to town. And you drive to town and find that indeed there is lots of fire. And it smells like burned meat quite a lot. And in fact, before you get properly to town, it's not exactly ambushed, they're just kind of roaming. You are attacked by 3 Fearlin drones that are very much on fire, that have big old bug eyes. You can fairly easily take them out. It will. Let me do this. They deal 8 damage between the 4 of you. Distribute it how you feel like. But you're able to dispatch them. These Fairlin did not simply have, burning blood like the other ones you have fought. They were just walking around on fire, and it didn't seem to bother them at all.
So 8 damage to the party, and we choose who takes it?
Yes.
Is that what you were saying? Okay.
Yeah, I just took 2.
I mean, Goris was fully healed
I'll-
up. I'll take 2 more.
I don't want to take any damage.
I can take all of it. I've got enough temp HP to take the entire lot.
I can take damage. It's fine. I have almost 40 HP left.
It's pretty likely Goris would have taken some with 11 armor class, so I'll
Yeah.
take 2 off the top.
All right.
Yeah, I've got only 15 AC, so I'll take 2.
So you're just taking
We're all
2
just
each?
taking 2. Okay.
So how on fire are the buildings?
The inn is not. It's not an inn. It's a tavern. The tavern is not very on fire. There are lots of townspeople corpses in the streets that are being mauled by Fearlins. There is ramshackle. There's various strands of metal webbing that have been draped between trees and buildings. And there are Fearlin drones just kind of chattering on them, and there are several Fearlin hulks that are just kind of walking about, very much on fire. And we are going to break there for today, and we're going to start next session with
Did you
you coming
say-
upon the town proper.
Support
Do you think
town.
the village could be more on fire?
It actually could certainly be more on fire, yes.
Excellent.
I mean, most things could be more on fire.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you guys for playing.
Thank you for running.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
I'll
Jay.
have to catch up on the start of the session later.
Yes, yes.